Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jlunce. I'm back with a new video. Something different, something new today. Shaking things up. I know that a lot of you probably don't give a shit about my movie opinions, or probably my music opinions for that matter. But I want to try doing this different formatting, different kind of video, where I go over a movie. Just see what happens. My passion for film and TV is, I feel, just as strong as for music. I want to see how video like this would play out, whether I like doing it, whether you guys liked it. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to just do a little experiment. If you guys hate it, then well, it's water under the bridge. We can just kind of forget this ever happened. If the mic quality sucks, I apologize. I'm using a headset mic, so if it sounds like ass, then that's why. I'm kind of poor. But before I dive into the nitty gritty of this movie, I will go over what I think of Dune Part 1. And shocker, I think Dune Part 1 is a surprisingly faithful and an incredibly good modern take on a sci-fi classic written in the 1960s. Now, I did actually read most of actually, the first Dune book before the first Dune film even released. When the trailer dropped, I got really interested. I wanted to see what the source material was like. And although I didn't finish the first novel before the first movie actually came out, I had to admit, after reading it, I wasn't really shocked at all that David Lynch's version has been hated collectively for so many years. Not because I think David Lynch is a bad director, I think he's a great director. It's because, well, Dune is not a very easy book to adapt. This isn't Lord of the Rings, where there's this grand sense of adventure and this unspeakable evil to stop. There aren't elves with bows, dwarves with axes, giant fire-breathing dragons, magical wizards with staffs. No, Dune is a cut-and-dry piece of science fiction about hierarchy, nepotism, and politics, and lots of talking. Lots and lots of talking. Mostly about the plot. The characters in the books are crass, cold, stern, uh, unlikable at some points, and most of the time extremely serious. It's not that they don't have personality, it's that the world of Dune is very complex, very rich, there's a lot to explain, and this makes some parts kind of feel slow. Not in a bad way, it's just a very interesting thing to read about, this universe at least. It's full of detail and facts and different cultures, and definitely not an action-adventure epic with moments of whimsy and tension. I mean, there are fights, but they're like a paragraph, maybe. Unlike the David Lynch adaptation, I think this film knows how to make the Dune universe digestible for those average Joe schmoes out there. Don't want to read a weird, long, and wordy tale about space politics. Honestly, can you really blame them? The movie adds some elements that you would normally see in a sci-fi epic, like sword combat, guns, otherworldly battles, some badass characters, and a little bit of levity that fits just right while still retaining what made the book interesting. A character like Duncan Idaho, for example, goes from kind of like a stern, level-headed army guy to just like, Jason Momoa, which makes him one of the more likable, fun characters to watch on screen. And I think that it works. Timothée Chalamet captures the essence of Paul in a really convincing way. He's not this durable, bright, heroic kid. He's a cold and kind of stoic person with a massive weight on his shoulders. The action, while usually not super extensive, is mostly relegated to the final act of the story and is done quite well. Some would find the heavy amounts of exposition kind of tiresome and annoying, but honestly, you need that to understand the full picture. And hell, the movie only shows like half of it, but it cuts out the stuff that's unnecessary and keeps the important stuff for later, which is what a good adaptation should do. Not to mention the movie visually is basically flawless. The immersion is so insane. Like, when I saw this in theaters, man, I'll never forget it. It was incredible. The costume design and set design just feels so lived in, but so eerie and a little unsettling at the same time, which is what the Dune world kind of feels like to me. Very unnatural and kind of uncomfortable, but not in a way that's bad, just in a way that's so captivating. The only stuff that I think they did a bad job adapting was like with a couple characters like Dr. Yue, who kind of just betrays the Atreides house and don't really know why, and the second movie doesn't even like address it. It's just like it's a small thing, but I don't know. There were some parts of the source material did fight back. But yeah, the first movie is really good. I get like a 4.5 stars on Letterboxd probably. It's a great movie. It's a great sci-fi movie. Now, Dune 2, on the other hand, is definitely one that I think will be more universally enjoyed than the first. It definitely make a lot more money at the box office. Not just because it's not COVID anymore, because the trailers made it really seem like a sci-fi war epic. And honestly, it's basically what it is, which is not very much like Dune at all. But I didn't get this far into the book. I don't think so, at least. And I'm not really going to be making comparisons for this movie to the book because I haven't read it up to this point, and I'm not going to be judging it based on the accuracy. Yeah, this movie is fantastic though. I had a fantastic time watching it. First off, I think this is a contender for best shot and directed sci-fi movie ever. Denis Villeneuve, damn, he's got the stuff, bro. He is like the guy to call for these sci-fi epics. He is so good at crafting these grand, intricate worlds or adapting them from the page to the screen, and it's not surprising since the rest of his filmography is damn near flawless. The man made a fantastic sequel to Blade Runner, and that's no small feat. He has quickly joined the ranks of some of the best directors to like ever do it, man. Like, I'm serious. The cinematography in this movie, the set design, the costume design, set design, sound design, score, editing, everything is nailed here, and it feels so faithful. There are shots in this movie that are so good that I want to frame picture them on the wall. Specifically, that one shot towards the end where Paul is about to and it cuts to this wide of Paul standing there with his blade ready to begin the fight. There's just the sun peeking through the scene right in the center, and really it illuminates everything around the shot. It looks so pretty. It's gorgeous. The scenes on Gady Prime specifically are my favorites though, because it just contrasts so starkly with like those beautiful scenes of the desert. It's so well defined. The world of Gady Prime is sinister, disgusting, and creepy as the fighting pit scene where they introduce Fade Rotha and his role in the story is so damn impressive. The atmosphere is incredible. Speaking of characters, I also think that making Paul struggle a lot more with his chosen one role and the way he changes by the end of the story is really well done too. His journey feels believable, and he has some fantastic moments. And Timothy Chalamet plays him perfectly at capturing this robotic nature, also playing him as this holy messiah meant to free the Fremen people. While the world building isn't as extensive as it was in the first movie, it does expand on all the different factions in interesting ways. Fremen culture is mysterious, filled with secrecy and prophecies. The Arconians are weird, evil bastards with the lust of Arrakis and the power that it holds. I was a bit surprised that they didn't reveal Paul's true heritage in the first movie, considering it happens, I think, like around like maybe page like 150 or I don't know, something around there in the first book. Him being a Harkonnen and the implications that that sets is something that I'm very interested to see this version of the story explore in future sequels. And it seems like while the movie is still faithful to the book in a lot of ways, I wouldn't mind seeing how this team may interpret the source material in different ways. I like the way they switch up Jessica's character a little bit. I think that Rebecca Ferguson is absolutely amazing as her. You always get the sense that she's up to some shady shit without outright saying it to the audience. It's conveyed really well in her performance. I also really like the scenes where she's talking to her daughter and the shots where they actually like show Aaliyah in the womb. And the lighting and effects work for that is so good. It was mesmerizing. I was shocked that they actually like had scenes like that. Paul's visions in the desert convey this sense of like madness it's so tense and deeply disturbing at points. And a lot of these scenes are punctuated really well by Hans Zimmer's excellent score, which is loud, booming, triumphant, but also unsettling with these guttural voices and these odd chantings. World of Arrakis is rich and unsettling, and I think there are so many scenes where the visuals and the sound combine to really capture that idea insanely well. Lastly, I will say that I do think this movie does a great job of giving us at least some closure, while still leaving threads open to continue the story. Unlike the first one, which felt like an introduction, a setup, if you want to look at that more pessimistically, which honestly, that's something I did miss a little bit. I think that while the world building in this movie, there is still a decent amount of it. I'm kind of a big sucker when it comes to like just the idea of world building and seeing how a writer or a director or anybody like just kind of describes a fictional world. I love learning about new worlds, and the first movie had a lot more of that, and I feel like it was just that was what made the first movie so special to me, and the book as well. I think this one will definitely, as I said, be more universally loved for the breakneck pace that it operates at, because there's like not a single dull moment in this movie. Dune was actually given a great adaptation, which is awesome. I'm so glad that's the case. I can definitely say that Denis Villeneuve, he's done it again, and I am very much so looking forward to an adaptation of Dune Messiah. Although it probably won't happen for a while because he said he's taking a break, so who knows when they'll release. But yeah, this movie was amazing, demands a theater experience. Like seriously, if you wait for this movie to go on HBO Max, what are you doing? Get your ass to the theater and watch the visual spectacular that this movie is. I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. Honestly, it could get a 5 upon repeat viewings. It really could. This is movie that I could definitely see enjoying more and more as time goes on. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Dune Part 2. Let me know if you enjoyed this, and let me know if you enjoyed Dune as much as I did, especially if you read the book. I want to know how well you think they took the stuff from page of screen. I want to know how well you think they adapted it. If you think this was stupid, you think I should just do album reviews, then let me know. And if you think I'm a hack, want me to die, then let me know that too, I guess. Spice up that comment section. Leave a like and subscribe, and expect some videos in spring break, maybe, possibly. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Uh, yeah. See ya.